Texas Congressman Brandon Gill is on the House Oversight Committee, and he's here with us tonight. Congressman Gill, I appreciate you coming on with us tonight. You're a straight shooter, and that's what we need right now. You heard James Comer just there. I am going to throw back. We just put a tweet up by Tom Emmer from back in 2017, I think it was, and he's saying that he and Keith Ellison created this Somali caucus. 2015 was this specific tweet. And so my question to you is, you're young in Congress, and I guess my question to you is, do Republicans just now care?
Well, I think that Republicans are realizing the extent of the fraud and the problems with open borders and mass migration, and that includes bringing millions of people into the country from failed states like Somalia, where this type of fraud and corruption, that type of dealing with governments is the norm. Whenever you bring in hundreds of thousands or millions of people in from cultures like that, you ought to expect that same behavior to happen here in the United States. That's exactly what we saw. But we're working on the Oversight Committee, and listen, the goal of what we're doing in Congress now in the Oversight Committee is, as James Comer mentioned, is to find criminal referrals. It is not for show. It's not just to show that we're doing something. It is for people to go to jail. What we found, what Nick Shirley found in his investigation, and remember, this is somebody who is an independent citizen reporter, is fraud on an overwhelming scale, and he didn't have the power of subpoenas. He didn't have the power to haul people in for depositions. We do, and we're going to do that, and I hope that we can find enough evidence so that people can go to jail for this.
I guess my biggest concern here, if you saw the last guest I had, is it's been out in the open. I mean, there have been local news reports about it. People have known about this. I'm not going to press you on this, but why didn't Tom Emmer care as someone from that state a long time ago? Moving forward on this is Tim Walz, the guy that was picked to be Kamala's vice presidential candidate, bragging about making it easier for people, in his state to get into the child care business. Here you go.
As far as childcare on this, we have to make it easier for folks to be able to get into that business and then to make sure that folks are able to pay for that. We were able to do it in Minnesota, and I'm still telling you this. We were listed as the best state. We're still in crisis on this.
Yeah, I would say you're still in crisis on this. I mean, you put a tweet out the year before saying they provided $316 million for this, and now we're finding out there was no accountability, no structure put in place to make sure any of that money went to a kid. If you had a nonprofit, you're asked how many dollars per person you served. There's no way they could ask that with this.
You're exactly right, and the reality is whenever you import the third world and whenever you import corruption, you should expect America to look more and more like the third world. That's what mass migration does to America. It fundamentally transforms American communities, including those in our heartland. Some of the most traditional American, white picket fence communities you can imagine. It transforms them, turns them upside down, and turns them into backwards third world societies, just like where many of these Somalis came from. And I think that we're realizing that more and more, and we've got to recognize that mass migration is the problem here. But another problem is that Democrats...
Well, just real quick, because that is an important point. We need to leave it here in just a second. But on that point, do you see legislation coming to maybe get rid of some of these people that were naturalized and now have defrauded our government? Do you see anything changing in Congress with the midterms coming up? Because this problem, I mean, if you can't fix what you've brought in, can you at least stop from bringing more in? Is there legislation viability for that?
I think that there could be, and I've been pushing for that hard. Listen, I think that the reality is that we need to make sure that our border stays secure, that we don't have any more illegal aliens coming into the country, but we also need to take a look at our legal immigration system, make sure it's working for the American people, that people who are coming into our country are coming from civilizations and cultures that are compatible with our own, and that is not the case with these Somalis. Frankly, I think we need to drastically reduce legal immigration. We've had millions of people coming in. It's time for the American people to assimilate, to cohere, to become one unified culture. We haven't had that for so long, but we need to take a hard look at our immigration system and make sure that it is working for our people.
Congressman, I appreciate you coming on. You always shoot it straight, and I appreciate that.
Hey, Sean Hannity here. Hey, click here to subscribe to Fox News YouTube page and catch our hottest interviews and most compelling analysis. You will not get it anywhere else.